Tonight, we report on a collision that left 2 teenagers injured in Ephrata, and Grant PUD names a new chief financial officer. What's happening in sports, Bob?
We wrap up our coverage of the 28th Annual Matt Classic Wrestling Championships, and the Wild and Rivermen skate to a tie in Wenatchee. Here's a quick glance at our Weather Center forecast.
Hi everyone, meteorologist Mike Sines here with you. We've had another gorgeous day today, but I'm tracking already our next rainmaker. When will it arrive? Coming up in weather.
I'm Amber Jenks, and we have all this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Moses Lake is closing West Shore Drive to replace a sewer pipe. The city will reopen the street on Friday, and it will remain open for the weekend. It's going to close again on Monday and reopen on March 4th. A detour will direct traffic to Hanson Road to reach May Valley. Closures are part of a $740,000 project to replace a lift station and upgrade sewer pipes. Richard Law, an engineer with the city, said a lift station located at the entrance of Montana Street was in need of replacement. The change increases the capacity at the sewer system in the area. A collision on State Route 28 in Ephrata shut down the highway for at least an hour and left 2 people injured. Reporter Joe Utter has the details.
2 people were injured in a collision on State Route 28 in Ephrata. Christopher Tomer, a 38-year-old Ephrata man, was driving a 2014 Dodge Ram west on SR 28 Monday evening when he reportedly rear-ended a 1995 Honda Accord, stopped to make a left turn. According to the Washington State Patrol, the Dodge reportedly came to rest on its side, blocking the westbound lane. Tomer was not injured, but the driver of the Honda, Miriam Perez, a 19-year-old Quincy woman, and her passenger, Ruby Rodriguez, a 19-year-old Quincy woman, were both injured. Perez was taken to Samaritan Hospital in Moses Lake, and Rodriguez was taken to Columbia Basin Hospital in Ephrata. The State Patrol issued Tomer a ticket for following the Honda too closely. The highway was closed for at least an hour for emergency crews and the State Patrol investigation. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
A man suspected of burglarizing a Moses Lake business was arrested Tuesday morning and reportedly had methamphetamine and a sawed-off shotgun. A Moses Lake police officer was checking on a 2013 Honda Accord parked in an alley on East 3rd Avenue when he reportedly located Evan Evans, a 53-year-old Moses Lake man. According to Moses Lake Police, the officer reportedly recognized Evans from surveillance video of a burglary at In-Home Medical on February 7th. Evans is suspected of breaking into the business, taking his clothes off and changing into clothes that were on a mannequin. He allegedly tried to steal a motorized scooter before fleeing the store. Police reportedly found methamphetamine and a sawed-off shotgun in Evans's car on Tuesday morning. Evans was arrested for burglary, theft, possession of methamphetamine, and altering a firearm. A man shot himself in the hand Monday night in Ephrata. Police responded to Sunland Inn in Basin Street Southwest after a 47-year-old Moses Lake man walked into the business office with blood on his arm and hand. According to Ephrata police, the man was in one of the rooms trying to clear a new pistol and had his hand covering the muzzle when the gun fired. The bullet went into his hand and out his arm. He was taken to Columbia Basin Hospital in Ephrata and later transported to an out-of-area hospital. Several people were inside the motel room when the gun fired. Now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be right back after this.
When the cold rolls in, it's time to turn on the heater and cozy up with a book. But turning up the heat can mean higher electric bills. And for some families in tough times, that could mean choosing between a warm meal or a warm house. For decades, people like you have extended a hand to help local families in need pay those winter electric bills. Share the warmth this winter to help keep your neighbor warm by giving a little when you pay your Grant PUD bill.
Now for your iFIBER 1 News Weather Center forecast.
Hi everyone, weather segment brought to you by Barry Motors. I'm meteorologist Mike Sines with a look at our weather headlines for us here. We are going to see a nice weather pattern, mild weather. Mix of sun is going to continue, and also I'm tracking rain that will soon return into my forecast. Taking a look at our almanac for us here in Ephrata, we've seen nothing in the way of precipitation. Low of 33 degrees, very far from the record low set back in 2011 of 4 degrees. High reaching right around 50, record high back in 1968 of 58 degrees, and the sunset for us right around 5:35. Taking a look right now outside, we have rebounded nicely. Temperatures dropped just a tad bit from the high. 47, mostly cloudy skies right now out there, and we are going to see a clearing night. Winds blowing from the north-northwest, roughly around 8 miles per hour. Futurecast, this is how it's going to time out. We're still seeing a little bit of cloud cover out towards the coastal regions. We're going to zoom in here for you and provide you kind of a more closer look here. Clouds going to continue to move in ever so slightly. Mix of sun and clouds. Look at this, just a band of very light clouds is what I'm tracking so far for our day tomorrow into the following day. Mixture of sun and clouds is going to continue. Very nice weather pattern going to be in store. Stable air mass really is what's affecting us, and is affecting a lot of the eastern portions and western portions, rather, of the United States. Here's a look at my forecast and my weather conditions for tomorrow, Thursday, right around 1 o'clock. 59 in Yakima, mostly cloudy skies. Sun also out towards Port Angeles if you're going to get out there to the coastal regions. Long Beach, 61, great out there to go and enjoy the beach. And Tri-Cities, 57 with mostly sunny skies. As we take a closer look for us here in the Columbia Basin, 55 for us here in Ephrata. 56 out towards Moses Lake. Mixture of sun out towards the east as you head just a little bit towards the west. Mixture of clouds. So you can literally, you're going to be seeing a mixture of sun and clouds throughout the day. It's going to look great. My extended outlook, we are looking, and I'm tracking the next frontal system that'll return. That's why the title up there says rain soon returning. Temperatures looking nice though. Weekend looking good for Saturday, mostly cloudy skies. As we make our way into Sunday, though, we are going to see a frontal system arrive here, giving us that chance to see some isolated showers and storms, especially during the afternoon time. Monday, mostly cloudy to partly cloudy. Another system makes its way in here by Tuesday, giving us another shot to see some rain. Temperatures, though, are going to rebound nicely. They're going to stay pretty in a general trend. Thanks for watching Sports Next.
Whether you're looking for a bigger car to support your growing family, a new truck for your business, or something to pull that toy of yours, we've got you covered at Barry Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and Ephrata. Come see us today and learn why your family, friends, and neighbors buy their cars at Barry. On Basin Street for more than 35 years, and with locations in Moses Lake and Wenatchee, we are one great place to buy a car. Call or click 754-2411 or barrysaves.com.
To save some energy, I've used Einstein's mass energy equivalents to design the haptic suits you see in front of you. They will maintain our core body temperature while we completely turn off our heat and air conditioning. With the money we save on our Grant PUD bill, I'll be expecting that trip to Disneyland this year.
You don't need to be a super genius to save energy and money. Visit grantpud.org to learn how.
The high school wrestling season came to an end at the Tacoma Dome this past weekend. Royal and Quincy grapplers had sights set high, but came up shy of their marks. The Royal Knights came away with a somewhat disappointing finish at the 2016 MAT Classic State Championships, placing 11th at the two-day event. Deer Park won it with 156. Kiki Kabbalah was the lone Knight crowned champion. He pulled out a 2-1 win over TJ Braun from Colville to claim the 120-pound title. Eduardo Rodriguez at 113 pounds and Abraham Medina at 126 turned in third-place finishes. Darren Miller took fourth at 170 pounds. Adam Felker placed eighth at 138. The Quincy Jacks took a small contingent of wrestlers to the Dome and had two place at the big dance. For the boys, it was Ichi Ramirez taking a 5-3 decision over Salvador Osorio from Topness to place fifth in the 182 weight class. In the girls' competition, senior Katie Ruel ended her high school wrestling career with an 11-4 win over Warden's Alyssa Edson to place fifth at 110. The Wenatchee Wild and Langley Rivermen battled to a 4-4 tie at the Town Toyota Center last night. Zach Mason and Ryan Barrow scored a goal each in the first 3 minutes to put the visitors up top early. The Wild answered back with goals from Matt Baker and Brendan Harris to level it 2-2. Wenatchee took the lead in the second period on Baker's second goal of the contest. Blake Christensen made it 4-2 Wild early in the fourth, but Wenatchee was unable to close it out. Langley tied it 4-4 to send the match to OT, and that's where it ended as neither team was able to put a puck in the back of the net. Clint Dempsey scored twice, and the Sounders and Club America fought to a 2-2 tie in the first leg of the CONCACAF Champions League quarterfinals. The loss came in front of 42,836 fans at CenturyLink Field Tuesday. The result means that Seattle must either win or score at least 3 goals in a draw next Wednesday at Estadio Azteca in Mexico City to move on to the semis. Another tie would force the Sounders to play more games to qualify for the next leg. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
You don't have to drive to Seattle for exceptional cancer care. Confluence Health's cancer program delivers world-class care close to home. We have a highly experienced oncology team in a state-of-the-art facility, and we're a member of the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, which gives our patients access to world-renowned therapies developed at Fred Hutchinson, the University of Washington Medicine, and Seattle Children's. Together with the SCCA, we're delivering world-class cancer care close to home.
Our spotlight story tonight is about the Quincy School District Board discussing their plans for a bond approved earlier this month that includes building a new high school. Reporter Devin Higgins has the story.
There was plenty of cause for celebration at the Quincy School District's board meeting on Tuesday.
Obviously, we also passed the bond, which is another big thing. And so we're going to get new schools soon. We're going to try to pack all the kids in there, and hopefully they're not going to be in portables anymore. Other than I just want to say thank you to everybody that supported. This is a democracy, so there's a lot of people that didn't vote for it, but for good reason. But again, the yes votes won, and we've got new schools.
The board sat down for their first work session following the passage of the $108 million school bond for the construction of a new high school and extensive remodeling and upgrading at all current facilities. Instead of its current configuration of 3 K-3 and 1 grade 4 through 6 elementary school feeding the junior high, high school, and high-tech high schools, the district will now have 5 elementary schools sending students to the new middle school, which will take over the current high school. Those students will then move on to the brand new Quincy High School, which will be the biggest school in the district. The board and other administrators spent an hour discussing the next steps in the process with consultant Rod Leland. Leland has worked with school districts around the state for 34 years and helped advise in the construction or modernization of more than 30 schools. Leland said Quincy has a rare opportunity to set a precedent for other districts to follow for years to come.
Yeah, this is a huge opportunity. If you guys get this right, it's a legacy for you and for other people here on the east side. You know, people, the message is going to be out there. You guys knock this one dead. It's just going to be so cool. We're going to do it.
One of Leland's recommendations was in the realm of oversight, saying transparency and community involvement are key elements to these kind of projects.
We need a group of people who are willing, and I think in a phone conversation with you, I heard the same kinds of questions. It said, I don't work for the district. I don't really even work in schools. I have expertise. For a while, I called them just the grumpy old guys who came and asked really hard questions.
Superintendent John Boyd said he's excited about being able to chart the course for the district's future, but also understands the obligations and pressures that come with it.
This is a huge responsibility. It's an incredible gift that's been bestowed upon us from the Quincy voters. And you know, we are taking this extremely seriously. We want to do the best job we can. Every dollar that we've been given by the voters is we're gonna take it seriously and try to do the best we can to build buildings that work for our kids, that work for our community, and that are done well. You know, we're taking that very seriously.
The Quincy School Board's next meeting is March 8 at 11:30 a.m. at Pioneer Elementary School. In Quincy, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
We'll be right back after this.
Experience speed like never before when you connect to Grant PUD's high-speed network. Visit grantpud.org to learn more.
We are real students, and this really is our college.
My dream will change the outcome of my life.
My college is allowing me to achieve my dream.
My dream is to be a pilot.
My dream is to be a nurse.
Only you can determine your dream. Big Bend will help you get there.
What's your dream?
Welcome back. The Grant PUD has a new chief financial officer. Officials announced the hiring of former Chelan PUD General Manager John Janey to replace Kevin Nort. In June, Nort is replacing Tony Webb as the Grant PUD General Manager. Janey worked for the Chelan PUD in a variety of roles from 2007 to 2013, beginning as the utilities executive manager of risk before moving up to chief financial officer and finally general manager. After accepting the promotion to general manager in 2010 and a 6-year contract extension in 2012, Janey resigned in February of 2013, saying he was leaving to spend time with his family and faith. Janey oversaw the Chelan's PUD's installation of fiber optic network. It started with a $25 million grant from the Federal Rural Utilities Service in 2010. A year later, the PUD halted the program, citing increasing costs and inaccurate coverage estimates. Janey fired 2 district managers in charge of the program who filed a lawsuit against the PUD for wrongful termination in 2012. The parties settled for $985,000. Janey is expected to begin at the Grant PUD on March 7th. 2 Mattawa teenagers were injured in a crash late Monday night on State Route 24, about 25 miles east of Moxie. According to the Washington State Patrol, a 16-year-old boy was driving a 1999 BMW 323i sedan east on SR 24 when he reportedly fell asleep at the wheel. The boy reportedly woke up when the car went off the road. He allegedly overcorrected, causing the vehicle to roll and come to rest on its wheels. The driver and his passenger, Cesar Garcia Lara, an 18-year-old Mattawa man, were taken to Yakima Regional Medical Center for their injuries. The State Patrol issued the 16-year-old driver a ticket for negligent driving in the second degree. In Northwest news, an explosion felt for miles destroyed a home in Kitsap County. 2 people were found dead inside the home, but investigators were at the scene all day and still don't know why it happened. Como's Kristen Drew has the details.
From Air 4, devastation. A home exploded just after 4 this morning in South Kitsap County and claimed the lives of 2 people. Investigators believe it was the homeowners, Maria McDonald and her husband William.
We're operating under the assumption that these are the individuals who are in this disaster. We have no reason to believe there would be anybody else in the house.
Firefighters found the bodies in an area where the bedroom was located, but the home, now a pile of debris.
It was quite significant. Literally, there was nothing left of the structure. We found rafters and sheeting material up in the trees, again 30 feet high.
The blast so powerful it broke windows of a nearby elementary school and leveled the home. Some people who could hear and feel the explosion this morning thought it was an earthquake.
I ended up on the floor, looked up, and the windows were just glowing red.
The fire marshal is now documenting what's left of the home and the scattered pieces. Investigators are expected to be out here for a couple of days because of all the detailed work that's required to figure out what caused the explosion.
It's a tough investigation. The pieces that once were in the house are now scattered pretty much over an acre.
Propane was the main source of heat for the home. The tank is intact, but fire investigators have not examined it yet.
We haven't got any devices yet to sniff out and find out what residue is there to tell what actually caused the explosion or what was the source.
At this time, investigators do not believe there was any criminal activity here. Just a tragic explosion that claimed the lives of 2.
The family members have been notified and they are dealing with the situation, as you can imagine.
That's going to do it here for us at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.